go. Hello, everybody.
A State Department official said Washington does not foresee a government evacuation of other American citizens in Sudan now or in the coming days.
One U.S. citizen is among the more than 400 people who have been killed so far. Beaches in Los Angeles County were shut down yesterday on Earth Day because of sewage.
A major sewage spill has forced the closure of many popular Los Angeles County beaches, including the beaches in Marina del Rey, Santa Monica, and this woman's home in Long Beach.
It's going to be a nice weekend and can't go to the beach. It's also very trashed and polluted. So, yeah, it just sucks.
An estimated 250,000 gallons of sewage spilled into the LA River Thursday due to an equipment failure.
General Motors issuing a recall and has a safety warning for customers. The recall involving certain Chevy Silverado medium-duty trucks for model year 2019 or later. The concern is the discovery of a potential leak in brake fluid that could result in a fire. The recall possibly affecting more than 40,000 vehicles. The Walt Disney Company is reportedly planning to cut thousands of jobs next week.
Hope it remembers.
About 15% of the staff in its entertainment division. This is USA News.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey, Wisconsin. Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HOOD for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HOOD for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HOOD.
A lawsuit being filed against Celebrity Cruises after a woman claimed her husband's remains were improperly cared for. Robert Jones died on board that cruise. His wife was told that his body would be held in the ship's morgue during the 6-day journey back to Florida, but upon arrival, they found out the remains had been moved from the morgue to another cooler. That cooler was not set at a cold enough temperature, and Jones' body was found in an advanced stage of decomposition. His wife and family seeking $1 million in damages. Elon Musk says Tesla will likely launch full self-driving technology this year.
The CEO made the prediction on a conference call Wednesday and said the test version of Tesla's full self-driving software will be 2 steps forward, 1 step back between releases, but that the trend is very clearly toward full self-driving. The electric vehicle company currently sells self-driving software as an option. I'm Skip Kelly.
Texas authorities investigating the deaths of 6 cattle that were found with their tongues removed, no blood spilled, and no signs of struggle. There were no signs of footprints or tire tracks in the area. Stranger still, no predators or birds would scavenge the remains of the cattle.
And I'm going to say good morning, Barry. Hi, Barry. How are you?
Good morning, Joe.
We got about a minute before we go on the air.
Good morning, Barry.
Hey, good morning, Tom.
How you doing?
All right, thanks. How are you?
All right. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, yeah. Happy rainy Sunday. My garden is happy.
Yeah, it's not raining already. It wasn't raining when we drove in there, but it looks like it's going to happen.
It's
So.
a little wet out there.
Yeah.
Maybe it rains. It's supposed to rain at like 2 o'clock in the morning. Start up again. Around 8.
Chilly out yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was cold at the stadium.
Oh, yeah, you were at the game yesterday. I saw a Facebook post.
Yeah.
All right. And good morning and welcome to Middleboro Matters. No, not Middleboro Matters. Middleboro in Review. I have two shows, so sometimes I get these shows mixed up. But Middleboro Matters is on Thursdays. Middleboro in Review is today. So we have a great show planned once again. And we have Barry Sanders on the line. Good morning, Barry. I'm doing great this morning. Beautiful, well, cloudy, but so far, beautiful day because it's not raining.
Every day is a beautiful day. Yes, every day is a beautiful day.
So a quick look at the weather. It is 52 degrees in Middleboro, a cloudy sky. Currently 55 today for the high, 46 for the low tonight. Rain in the forecast, and then tomorrow 61 degrees with a high of, for the low of 38, 61 degrees for the high tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies. In Taunton, 51 degrees, cloudy skies. 55 today for the high, 46 for the low tonight. Rain in the forecast. Driscoll, North Dakota, 22 degrees with a high of 45 today. Sun for the next couple of days in Driscoll, North Dakota, which is a good thing. And then the temperature goes back up a little bit. And then in Driscoll, Texas, 73 degrees currently. They're pretty much at their high today. 74 for the high. Rain and thunderstorms in the forecast for Driscoll, Texas. 71 tomorrow. As well, rain in the forecast, and also rain in the forecast for Driscoll, Texas on Tuesday as well. So that is your weather for today.
The 4 most important towns on the planet, right?
The 4 most important towns according to Middleboro in Review, yes. So we invited Barry Sanders to call in today to talk about a few things. First thing what I want to talk about is the public safety referendum vote, which will be taking place this upcoming Saturday, April 29th, 2023. So we'll start with that. So Barry, tell us a little bit about this vote, and we had you on before. Tell us anything, if there's anything new as well about this vote that the voters should know about.
Well, for starters, Joe, and thanks for this opportunity. I do appreciate every chance we get to keep the voters of Taunton informed. So the first thing is that the voting actually starts tomorrow. There is early voting scheduled at City Hall on Monday from 8 to 2. On Tuesday, I believe 8 to 7, and on Wednesday 8 to 2 as well, and that's at City Hall. And then you can go to your normal polling place on Saturday the 29th from 8 to 2 and cast your vote on this very important debt exclusion vote to fund the building of a new public safety complex.
Don.
Yeah, Barry, this is Don. As far as the voting, you do recommend people to vote early because it does. The polls do close at 2 o'clock on Saturday. You said.
Polls do close at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good for everyone to know because people think it's probably a 7 to 7 vote or 8 to 8 vote. So it's good that people know that. So they go to vote. If they go to vote, they're not, an hour later, even 15 minutes late, and they'll be pretty, upset about that. So it is important to vote early, and I feel this is, for anyone who lives in Taunton or even it's very important because you do need fire, police. You do need a updated safety building because most of the other towns surrounding Taunton have them already. And Middleboro's got a new one, Abington's got a new one, East Bridgewater's got a new one. Everyone's got one.
Yeah, if anyone has been in the police station for any reason at all, The Taunton Police Department, certainly for as long as I can remember, have been in a couple of different temporary locations. And at first they were at the Armory over by the library, and now they're in, basically it's a former grocery store, and that's, it's just not ideal. And I would go so far as to say it's not just that it's not ideal, it's just not respectful. It's not adequate. It's not safe. The police have had to make a lot of adjustments. You certainly wouldn't want to be down there on your worst day, trying to navigate the space that's available. And our fire department as well. Most of the fire stations in Taunton are about 100 years old, and they don't, they're also, some of them are just, they're not safe to be in on a regular basis. And if you've had any cause to be down there, maybe you went down for one of the tours, they're just not really safe places to be. They're not healthy. There's a lot of leaking around the windows and the roof, and the floors are not adequate for the type of equipment we currently use. So this is going to give us an opportunity to make some real headway on correcting that situation.
Barry, where is the location proposed if this does pass?
So for folks who live in Taunton, you'll know that on County Street there used to be a place called Villa Fatima. There was a preschool and a convent right over, actually, in between County Street and Gordon Owen Riverway. So that is the location. You can't miss it. It's a big sign out there, and people might remember for years there was a white marker with the number 90 painted on it. And so if you remember driving by and seeing that, that is exactly where it's going to be.
So the way you describe the current public safety situation and building in Taunton kind of reminds me quite a bit about what Middleboro had, their situation prior to the opening of the new police station as well. They had the same kind of issues. The building was definitely run down. There were windows that were broken or just did not look adequate for what a police station should look like. And then they were able to fix that all up and make a new police station. They still have the old station in the center of town. Heard a couple things about what they might do with that. I'm not sure what's going on there. But it definitely sounds like the same kind of situation.
Yeah, so for the police, for Taunton anyway, the police will move out of their current location if the debt exclusion passes. Once the new building is built, the police will move out completely, lock, stock, and barrel. The fire department will move some equipment and operations into the new building, and then there'll be a process of repairing the many of the existing fire stations. It'll give us an opportunity to kind of shift resources around in a safe way, because unlike a lot of city services, the fire department really needs to be spread out around the city, because we all know if there's a fire or a medical emergency, the difference between being 2 minutes away and being 10 minutes away would mean the difference between somebody living or dying. So fire department definitely has different needs.
Barry. I don't know what I was thinking, Paul. Hey, Barry, what would this bring as far as more taxes? How much more would this cost Taunton taxpayers as far as
so the whole project is $79.1 million, and the city's already put about a little over $10 million into the purchase of the land and design work and some hiring that needed to be done for project managers and all of that. The part that's going to be funded by this debt exclusion is $67.7 million, and for each property owner. So there's residential and commercial. So the commercial businesses are going to kick in as well. It's 39 cents per $1,000 evaluation. So you can do I just looked at it. I don't know why. I've always heard 39 cents, but I see on the city website it now says 44 cents. That's I'll say that's different. But 44 cents per 1,000. So you do the math on your property. That is roughly, on my property, I have a pretty standard split ranch. That's going to be probably a little more than $200 a year for me.
Okay, that doesn't seem unreasonable. And this is just my humble opinion. I don't pay taxes in Taunton, but like I said earlier, every town has a new facility. You kind of need it. Public safety is very important, and you sort of need a uniform situation as far as your police and your fire. You kind of need to have a central location that's. And I think also too, a central location will act more as a emergency situation too during hurricanes and blizzards, and that'd be more of a center, like almost a command center in a way. I can't see the current police station being any kind of a command center. If it's the one I'm thinking about, it's the one around the corner here.
Yeah. Right.
So that's what these towns need too. Because they build them. First of all, they'll be built pretty strong, and then you have your central command center as far as any kind of emergencies, or like I said, hurricanes or blizzards. That's what all these police stations look like to me. The one in Middleboro looks pretty solid. The one in Abington looks pretty. East Bridgewater's got a new one. They all got a new one, as far as I know.
Well, and I'm glad that you said that, because it reminds me that the administration is entertaining the idea of getting Taunton into a regional 911 scheme out of Foxborough, and I have not been in favor of that. I have not been won over by that idea. However, one of the questions I have asked several times and gotten the same answer is that this new public safety building, if it gets built, has adequate size for Taunton to run its own 911 center and run a regional 911 center out of that building. So, we could be looking at really giving us the opportunity to do something where Taunton is the focal point of a regional 911 center, and not simply, one partner in another group. So that's interesting to me. I hope if the project gets funded and the place gets built, that we can look at moving in that direction as opposed to the Foxborough scheme.
So we have a few more minutes left in this segment. To cap this off, to cap all the Taunton public safety referendum talk off, tell us about where, when the vote is, and again what time the vote is, and where people can go vote. I know there's several different spots. Did we lose Barry? I think we lost Barry. He'll call back.
Okay.
We lost Barry. Let's take a commercial break, and then we'll be right back here on Middleboro. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Barry, did we lose you?
You did. I'm not sure what happened. The rain started and the phone died. I'm not sure what that means.
I think all the gremlins woke up in your phone and said, "See ya," and I want to be ya.
So before we take our commercial, before we take our commercial break, again, just let the people know when the vote is again, and what time and what date.
Sure. So people can start voting tomorrow at City Hall from 8 to 2. That's 8 to 2 Monday, 8 to 7 on Tuesday, and then 8 to 2 again on Wednesday. That's at City Hall. And then on the Saturday, on the 29th, from 8 until 2 p.m. So yes, Don, vote early, because if you think you're going to get down there and vote at 5:30 or even 7 o'clock, that's not going to happen. So 8 to 2 on Saturday at your regular polling location. So if you wherever you would normally vote in an election, that's where you would go on Saturday.
And also too, Barry, if anybody who's lives in Taunton haven't been to the new City Hall, it's an opportunity to check out that beautiful building, because
Yes.
I know the building's been done for a while, but I'm not sure how long. But that's such a beautiful building, and give people an excuse to go out, and check it out a little bit. So I mean, that's be a little fun fact for people to come out and check out the City Hall, the brand new, out of the box City Hall. But I'm not. Was it 3 years old? 4 years old? It's been open, the new City Hall.
We've been there. Let's see. I was council president as we were finishing it up, so I want to say it's been up and running for about 2.5 years, almost 3. Yeah.
Brand new, out of the box City Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, if
All shiny.
all shiny. So I mean, if you always been curious enough to go, I mean, if you have no business to go to City Hall, I understand. But I mean, if you want to check it out, just go, vote at City Hall. Make it a point to vote at City Hall during the week before the election, and you can check out that beautiful, beautiful building.
Yeah, City Halls and Town Halls, so important to every single town and city. Middleboro has a really beautiful town hall.
I know. I think Middleboro and Taunton have beautiful town halls. I mean, you walk into it and you can't be you're inspired, because this is this is your government. This is what the government is working for the people, and to have I always thought backdrops were great as far as doing any kind of business. I always like a nice backdrop. So those beautiful buildings, historical buildings, makes me feel good, I guess, as far as being an American.
All right, it is 7:25. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Barry, you stick around another segment?
I sure can.
All right, when we come back, we're going to we'll do a little musical recommendation, Don. How does that sound?
We'll see if Barry likes these guys.
All right. So we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. It is the 23rd of April, 2023, and we'll be right back here on WVBA 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. Go. Perfect. Rose down.
I don't know why Paul was on my mind.
What is it, Barry?
There's a lot of static on the phone line. It's hard to hear you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was hearing some earlier, so. You want to try calling back, Barry? So you can get better connection?
No, I was saying earlier, I think there's something wrong with the phone line. I asked Mark to have somebody take a look at that.
Oh, it's raining out.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, outdoor plans are canceled. Just sit home and watch Scooby-Doo all day.
So, Don, do you have a read for your song first?
No, you're just doing your song, right?
Aren't you doing yours?
No, just do yours.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just do mine. All right. That sounds like a plan, Don. Yeah, I got a read right here for it.
Oh, I didn't know Aaron Moran died in 2017. Joni from Happy Days.
Oh.
To 56.
Okay. About. We got about a minute.
I tell you, at the beginning of Paul's show on Saturdays, you're always flanking over him every Saturday. You know?
Because we're always talking before he goes on the air.
Yeah. See, Betty White's birthday yesterday. 100th.
Betty White?
And she didn't.
She would be 100.
100.
101, right?
No, I don't know.
Not 100, because she died a month before her birthday.
Oh, really? Before,
Yeah, no, she died a month before her birthday,
Oh,
so
maybe
she's 101 now.
Who's
Well,
the other one?
she would be 101.
Betty Davis. Let's see.
All right. Okay, get that up and just do that up there and maybe talk about that.
April 5th to October 6th, 1980. She died in 89. She 08. No, that's wrong.
Okay. All right. We're going to be back from a commercial break in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are back here from a commercial break, and we still have Barry on the line, and we're going to switch gears a little bit to our musical recommendation today, and we always like to do this on a pretty regular basis. We do a music recommendation. Sometimes Don does one, sometimes I do one, sometimes we both do one. Sometimes we have a guest on the show that has a musical recommendation that she or he talks about as well. But it's me today with a musical recommendation. And my musical recommendation today is one of their best songs, in my opinion. The Highwaymen, and the song is Desperados Waiting for a Train. The song was written originally by Guy Clark and originally recorded by Jerry Jeff Walker for his 1973 album, Viva Terngolea. It subsequently appeared on Rita Coolidge's 1974 album, Fall into Spring, and David Allan Coe's third album, The Mysterious Rhinestone Cowboy. There's also a version by Tom Rush on the album Ladies Love Outlaws, the same year before Clark's own rendition was released on his LP, 1975's Old Number 1. The American country music group The Highwaymen released it as a single in September of 1985. It was the second single from the album Highwaymen, and the song reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles and Track Chart. Fantastic song. It's about it's written from the aspect of a young boy who's growing into a man and is friends with an old man throughout his young life, and it's just a really beautiful song. Don, your thoughts on this song?
I don't dissect the lyrics as much, but what I liked about the Highwaymen version is you have the four voices. You have Chris Christopherson, you have Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, and you have Johnny Cash. and they all come in and they do their respective versions. And something about those voices, and also too, if anyone's a Willie Nelson fan or listens to Willie Nelson, he always likes to put that Spanish guitar in
Yes.
a lot of his songs, and he does it on his part. So it really makes the song really blend. And like I said, it's just I didn't know about the other versions or whatnot, but the Highwaymen, they, in my opinion, they can't do no wrong. Hey Barry, you know that song? You familiar with the Highwaymen? You ever listen to the Highwaymen, that lineup? Yeah, probably the song "The Highwaymen." That was the hit that came out. But talk about super group. Yeah, talk about a super group.
This is Supergroup 101.
Yeah,
This band.
yeah,
Absolutely.
It always puts us in a good mood. That's why we do the music recommendations, because we listen to it in the morning. We have our coffee, and we fight over the. Me and Joey fight over the who's gonna do it this week. And he takes the phone and he kind of just says, "We'll listen to what I want to listen to." But sometimes I pull over and I pull the phone out of his hand and we listen to what I want.
Yeah, there are similarities to what me and Dawn listen to as well, but there's some differences. I like a whole lot of different bands, a lot of rock bands, a lot of country music bands, really a lot of different genres. Lately, I've been listening to when it comes to the heavy rock and rock and roll part of things. I've been listening to a band called Avenged Sevenfold, which is a very good band. Also, recently, I've been listening to a band from the 80s, kind of a short-lived band, Alcatraz as well. Great band. Graham Bonnet was in there, in that band as their singer for 3 albums. Actually, he had a couple of big hits, or had a big hit, or good-sized hit in the late 60s with a band, and I'm forgetting the name of the band right this second, but I will.
But he had a hit.
He
had a hit with Rainbow, "Since You've Been Gone."
Yes,
everyone knows that song. That song was. Everyone knows that was a Rainbow song. That was sort of the beginning of popish, like a pop music for Rainbow. But yeah.
So he was a part of the band The Marbles, and they had a hit, or they had a pretty good sized hit as well, and he was a part of that band in the late 60s.
Well, it's the family tree of all these different players that we really like to unravel as far as different players, and this player playing for this band, and then this guy jumping ship to this band, and it's just like a family tree. The whole family tree about musicians and stuff, it really fascinates us because it never ends.
And you'd be really surprised about which player was in where and everything else.
And where they came from is really interesting too, in my opinion.
So my question to Barry is, what are some artists and songs that are in your everyday playlist, Barry?
As I'd like to think. Right now in the disc changer, I've got U2, Bruce Springsteen, and an a cappella group called Sweet Honey in the Rock, and they do a lot of social justice, kind of gospel-y kind of music, very about folkiness. It's probably at any one time about 10 different women who are doing wonderful a cappella performances, and I really enjoy listening to that.
Acapella is awesome because I remember I worked at a hotel in Boston in the 90s, and they used to have, at this particular hotel, they used to have entertainment in the lobby, and there was a group called North Shore Acapella. They used to come in once a week, and I always tried to make my shift, working that shift when they were there. I always try to monkey my schedule where I was there because they were incredible. There was like 4 of them, and they were unbelievable. Mm-hmm. No instruments. It's just the voices carried, and went through the whole lobby, and with the whole lobby acoustics and stuff like that, it was just it was unbelievable.
Yeah, so,
I know what Barry wants to talk about.
yeah, Barry. Well,
Yeah.
we'll default to you for a second. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, Revolution, right?
The Revolution.
They win last
Yeah.
night? Did they win?
I don't know if I want to talk about last night's game for too long, because so yeah, grateful for the win. You know, I kind of was expecting them to win, considering who they were playing. But boy, talk about a tale of two halves. They looked like they were going to steamroll this team in the first half and just were clicking on all cylinders. Everything looked great. And then, you know, Kansas City got a goal back. And, you know, we say in soccer, you know, a 2-0 lead is the most dangerous scoreline in a game, because everything can change on that third goal. So if you think about, you're up 2-0. You score that third goal, now you're up 3-0. That game's pretty revitalized, and they really can steal that game out from under you. And Kansas City almost did it, even though they were playing with only 10 men instead of 11. And just for New England to struggle as much as they did in the second half, playing against 10 men for most of that half, is just unacceptable.
Yes, and there's 2 goals by the New England Revolution, by one player, Barry.
Yes, Giacomo Brioni finally kind of hitting his stride. He's been with the team for a while now and has never really managed to, you know, break into the starting lineup until this season. And he did what we pay him to do, which is to put the ball in the back of the net. Nothing fancy, nothing, you know, crazy, but he did what he needed to do. And he also was the player who was fouled by the Kansas City player that resulted in him being sent off, and the Revolution being, you know, having that man advantage. Not that it, you know, mattered all that much for the Revs, because they weren't able to hit the scoreline, but you know, we'll take the win, and hopefully I think most of the post-game interviews, the coach and the players all said, like, yeah, we can't be happy with that performance, because that second half was dreadful.
And didn't end up catching this game, but I did hear online from a lot of different people that definitely one half of the game was not good. The second half, I think they were talking about the second half. The first half was good, and then they struggled. A lot of different things going on for sports lately. Yesterday, my attention was on the Lightning versus the Maple Leafs game, and that got a little feisty. That game, there was a play. Braden Point got injured, and this was because of a player that unintentionally collided with him on the boards, and he skated off, and he came back in the game. He ended up coming back in the game, but he was injured for a couple of minutes, and that caused about 8 or 9 different players to fight each other, and 6 players ended up in the penalty box, which I don't think I've ever seen ever in a hockey game. So I think those 2 teams are going to have an exciting rest of the series, because they are fired up.
All right. Yeah, hockey's interesting in that way. It's the only sport, I think, where you can have a fist fight, and you just have to go sit down in timeout for about 5 minutes, and then you can come back and play again.
Exactly.
And fight again.
And then fight again, exactly, yes.
I don't know.
So
Too many sports where you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Except for boxing.
Except for boxing.
To do that.
I think there's more rules in boxing than hockey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So another quick...
If I was out there skating and I'm facing up with a guy who's wearing a helmet, I'm probably not going to want to punch him too many times. I never really understood the logic there.
So,
yeah, that's true.
So another thing I want to touch upon is in soccer. It is the World Cup coming up, not the World Cup, but the FIFA. The women's side is coming up in about a month from now. if you have any predictions, what would your prediction be for who's going to do really well?
Well, unlike on the men's side, you can never go wrong betting on the United States in the Women's World Cup. They have always been a team that has the ability to win the whole thing. In fact, I think the women have won the World Cup, I don't know, like 5 times or something. And, you know, they are the envy of the world, although in other countries, women's sports are making some progress, so you don't always see the United States women win, but they are definitely a team to be reckoned with.
All right, 7:44. We're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to finish off the show talking a little bit about transportation.
You want to stick around for that? Because I'm going to ask you all these questions, Barry. And you're like, oh my God, he's not asking you this another question again about transportation.
We'll talk about the MBTA.
New general manager.
New general manager, yes. And he's doing a whole lot of things that definitely need to be done.
Well, he comes from New York, Long Island Railroad, and I know I do a lot of reading on the Long Island Railroad because I'm interested in that infrastructure. It's they're a well-oiled machine over there. They don't mess around. They really get their fares too, for sure. So
Barry, will you stick around?
Sure. I'm not sure how much I'll be able to contribute, but I'm willing to play along.
All right. We will do that. We'll also touch upon South Coast Rail as well. I'll read a little update on that too. I have that up. And we'll do that.
Not a long-winded one, right?
No, I'll just do a little.
We're not talking about the irrigation ditch and the the crossing belt that we'll be putting up next week, right?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean there still is testing on the line when it comes to the signals and everything.
I'm just curious what the speeds are going to be as far as moving right along.
But we'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. We're going to take our last commercial break, and also we'll have our Today in Histories as well. Actually, we'll probably start off the last segment with that. It'll be quick. It'll be a quick thing. Get Barry's thoughts about some of the birthdays and the Today in Histories and passings we have as well. So let's do our commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review on 1530 AM, 99.7 FM WVBF. Perfect.
Hey, Barry.
Yeah.
We always hold you hostage when you call. You know that, right? We appreciate you getting up at 7 and calling us. I know it's it's one of your days you can sleep in, and we really appreciate you calling.
Oh, no worries. Anything for Joe. You know, I appreciate him doing all that work for us on Saturday mornings. Because as I said yesterday morning, in fact, if I had to figure out all them buttons and knobs, you'd be dead air.
Actually, Joey is actually. We want to thank them for Thursday too.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do that. I had a guest last Thursday. The program manager for the Ryan Seacrest Studios at Boston Children's Hospital. It was a really good interview. A lot of great things that they have going on.
There's a backdrop story. I like to to touch on that because I wanted to call and I couldn't on Thursday. Yeah.
But we'll start off the segment with our Today in Histories. I'll get that out of the way a little early.
Yeah, but I'd like to say a little.
Yeah, and then I'll switch over to you after we do our Today in Histories, our birthdays, and things like that. Because get Barry's thoughts on some of these birthdays.
I want to bend Barry's ear on transportation because I'm just one of those transportation troublemakers.
Yes.
What do you got going on today, Barry? Just relaxing?
Yeah, it's raining today, so if I can get in between the raindrops, I've got some carrots I want to put in the ground today.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll plant some sunflowers indoors. I've got some gardening chores, I guess.
All right, yeah.
And that's probably pretty much it. Go over the agenda for Tuesday.
Yeah. Is that the meeting? Is that that's Tuesdays when they have the city council meeting usually?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We talked about off the air yesterday briefly that Middleboro has a new town clerk, and it is the former head of the elections department in Taunton, or someone who was a part of the elections department in Taunton. So that's pretty big, because the town clerk who was there formerly is now the first head of human resources in Middleboro. They created a new title recently.
Oh, they did?
Human resources.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright.
You always get an airport.
Actually, if I can have a minute to correct something I said earlier, I misread what I was looking at. So,
Yeah.
The public safety building is 39 cents per 1,000, and that 44-cent number I misread from something else. I don't want people to think it's gone up in the span of a month.
Oh yeah. So we'll
Right.
we'll start with that.
Yeah, straight away on that. Yeah.
We'll start with that. All right. Coming back in a second here. Back up. Good and good. Okay. We are coming back in 3, 2, 1. And we are back here on Middleboro in review as I turn the music down. And yes, and we want to quickly go to Barry because he has something he wants to say about the public safety building.
Yeah, so this is what I get for reading stuff before I've had my second cup of coffee, I guess. There's a note on the city website about 44 cents, and I didn't read it correctly, so I just wanted to make sure I said it right. The debt exclusion vote would include, it's 39 cents per 1,000. There's a note on there about 44 cents, but that's something different that is not about this. So 39 cents per 1,000 is the increase in the tax for the debt exclusion, and that's for a period of, I'm going to say, probably about 30 years, I think it is. So it's a long stretch, but it's not a ton of money for most people.
Well, that was a good catch anyway. But if my memory serves me correctly, when you were on about a month ago, I think it was 30 something. I remember it being 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, 39. It's good they made that correction, just so everyone has the right information. That's very important.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me a chance to do that.
And also too, and this is my personal opinion anyway. I mean, this is as the disclaimer at the beginning with
Yes.
With Tony's voice, it's opinions. I really think a public safety building, a newer public safety building in the city of Taunton, it would be a good thing in the long run. Every other town has it. The town needs a command center because there's more and more emergencies these days as far as what people need, and that's sort of an area where everyone can go as far as command center and coordination and items like that. So in my opinion, I think you just got to giddy up. It's time for Taunton to have one too, I think.
Yeah.
Joe?
Okay, I thought Barry was going to say something there. Okay, our Today in Histories. We have a couple. Let's start off with our first one. 1635, the first public school in the United States, Boston Latin School, is founded in Boston. And our second Today in History, from 2005, the first YouTube video titled Me at the Zoo was published by co-founder Jawed Kareem. The creation of... did we lose Barry again?
Yeah.
No, he'll call back in a second.
He'll call back, all right.
The creation of YouTube. Very important video sharing site, YouTube. And, of course, the creation of the Boston Latin School, which is extremely important school. They have, during Thanksgiving, they have a really great Thanksgiving matchup. Boston Latin versus Boston English. And that's always a great Thanksgiving matchup as well. Kind of like, down here where we have Boston, Middleboro versus Carver every year, and Taunton has Taunton versus Milford. So that's a pretty big Thanksgiving football game. Boston English versus Boston Latin. Barry, the two today in histories. What are your thoughts?
Well, I missed that because I got disconnected. So
okay, so I'll read them again. Yeah, I'll read them again. 1635, the first public school in the United States, Boston Latin School, is founded in Boston. And then we have another one from 2005. The first YouTube video titled "Me at the Zoo" was published by co-founder Jawed Kareem.
No, I always thought the first public school was down here in southeastern Mass. I thought it was like Rehoboth to have the first public school or something. So that's news to me, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, and we were talking about how Boston Latin has a great Thanksgiving Day football game with Boston English as well. It's one of the biggest ones, one of the most important ones, I think, in the state. Of course, Middleboro has Carver during Thanksgiving. Taunton has Milford during Thanksgiving. Pretty important football games that happen. And our birthdays, 1791, James Buchanan, American soldier, lawyer, and politician. He was the 15th president of the United States. 1813, Stephen A. Douglas, American educator and politician, the 7th Illinois Secretary of State. 1853, we have a local individual here. Winthrop M. Crane, American businessman and politician, the 40th governor of Massachusetts. 1921, Warren Spahn, American baseball player and coach. 1936, Roy Orbison, American singer-songwriter.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Roy Orbison was also a part of a supergroup, Don.
Yeah, the Traveling Wilburys.
The Traveling Wilburys, yes. Very good band.
And then he put his final album out, Anything You Got. I think that was the single that came out, the hit. And it was a big hit. And then he passed away, which was sad because he was just getting his feet wet with the Traveling Wilburys.
Our next birthday we have is 1939. Lee Majors, the $6 million man.
And the Fall Guy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember this pickup he had, Barry? That cool pickup that GMC used to drive around, with the big wheels. Every kid wanted to have one. I think I had a Fall Guy truck when I was younger. I wasn't younger, but would that come on? Like 83, I was a teenager. I still buying Matchboxes at 14.
1960, Claude Julien, Canadian ice hockey player and coach. He was the coach for the Boston Bruins. The last time they won the Stanley Cup, which was in 2011.
And then they fired him.
And then they fired him. And then he goes on to coach the Montreal Canadiens.
And did he get fired again?
And then he got fired, and then he, I believe, went on to coach the Las Vegas Golden Knights as well. Speaking of Vegas, Vegas is getting a baseball team. Apparently, there are some reports that came out this week that the Oakland Athletics are moving out of Oakland and moving into Las Vegas. So that is some big news there. Our last birthday we have is John Cena, American professional wrestler and actor, becoming more more and more well known for his acting nowadays. He's been in a lot of great movies throughout his career. Started out doing, I think one of his movies was 12 Rounds,
The Marine.
which was a really good one. The Marines,
Yeah,
which is a really good one.
That was a good movie, yeah. And he always proud about West Newbury, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
So,
West Newbury,
every
Massachusetts.
time he's called out on the ring when they announce it, it's West Newbury. It's West Newbury, not just Newbury. West Newbury.
West Newbury, yes.
And I don't even think West Newbury is its own town. I think it's just West Newbury.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
On our passings for today, we have two. 1616, William Shakespeare, English playwright and poet. And 2022, 1 year ago today, Orrin Hatch, American politician, President pro tempore of the United States Senate, former President pro tempore. That is the birthdays, the today in history, and the passings. Quick thoughts about the passings.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
yeah. I think Orrin Hatch. I think he died suddenly. I just heard it on the news. And
Yeah.
He just that's funny. I wasn't sure if he was sick or not, but he was in the Senate for a long time.
And Shakespeare is
Yeah,
one of the most important playwrights in history.
Yeah, he hasn't been around for a while, has he?
No, but very important playwright.
Right.
A lot of great plays he wrote that were, redone and actually I think a lot of them were made into movies that were pretty successful as well. And yeah, that's about it.
Can I have 30 seconds to
Yes.
thank? I want to thank Nicole from Children's Hospital from the Ryan Seacrest studios who called in on Thursday. That was a moving interview because Joey has been part of the Children's Hospital fabric since he was born, and for him to have his own radio show, with his situation, proves that Children's Hospital did its job, and Joey's a living proof of that. And that interview, as a father, was so exciting for me to listen to because it's just they're taking the time to call in on Joey's show, and I just want to thank Children's Hospital and Nicole for calling in. That's it just made me feel good.
All right, it's 8:00. I want to thank Barry Sanders for calling in.
We didn't
today.
we didn't give him a word edgewise either. You just kept running your mouth.
So I want to thank Barry Sanders for calling in today.
Thank you, Barry. We love having you. Studio at 7:00? No, that will never happen, right? Ever.
Yeah, sure will.
I'll buy you coffee. I'll get you a big. I'll big jumbo coffee. Coffee's on me. Donuts, bag, whatever you want. I mean, I'll just be. I'll just take care of you. That's part of the perks for Middleboro and Review. Coming here on a Sunday morning so early.
So we'll have Barry on again, of course.
But don't forget to vote.
Yeah, don't forget to vote.
Yeah.
Don't forget to vote for sure.
Yeah. So we'll have your people call my people, and we'll set something up.
All right.
That sounds good, Barry.
Have a great Sunday.
Have a great Sunday.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye. And that will do it for today's program. I want to thank everyone for listening in. We'll be back next week, the 30th of April, 2023, with Ed Sutka calling in. I'm going to be talking with him. He is the host, the creator of...
The creator.
The creator. He created
he does
it.
Such a great job on those CDs. He's just perfect.
He's the creator, the host of Musical Odyssey.
The narrator.
The narrator, yes.
Everything.
And we'll be talking with him next week. He has a couple poems to share, and we'll be talking with him about some other interesting things too, I'm sure. And we'll be back next week. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody.
What a great show. That show was awesome. I love when Barry calls in. He's so cool. Get him in here in the studio. It was great.
Bye, everybody.